The African sun burned mercilessly over the cracked earth of Isicolo National Park. For 6 relentless months, the dry season had drained the land of life, leaving behind brittle grass, dust-choked winds, and a silence heavy with suffering. Herds of animals had long since fled, searching for the few remaining waterholes. But one mother had refused to leave. She was a powerful rhinoceros, her thick hide coated in dust, her horn a symbol of strength. By her side, a fragile calf staggered along, its ribs faintly visible, its small body trembling from hunger and dehydration. The mother had fought desperately to keep her child alive, digging at dried-out riverbeds, searching for any remaining moisture. But the land had nothing left to give. Then, on the dawn of the 7th month of drought, she made a decision. She would leave behind everything she knew and embark on an impossible journey, one that could mean salvation or death. As the sun began to rise, the mother rhino took her first step toward hope. Her instincts led her north, where whispers of a distant waterhole still lingered in the wind. The journey was perilous. Predators lurked in the dry underbrush, their hollow bellies making them bolder than ever. The scorching heat made each step heavier than the last, but she pressed on. By noon, her calves' legs had weakened. The little rhino barely had the strength to keep up, its dry tongue flicking out, desperate for water. The mother turned her head, nudging her child, urging it to hold on. They had to keep moving. Hours passed. The sun sank lower. Then, at last, a miracle. On the horizon, glistening in the last light of the day, was water. With newfound strength, she picked up her pace, her heart hammering in her chest. But fate was cruel. A few meters from salvation, the baby rhino, weak and delirious, collapsed into a thick patch of dried mud. Its frail body began to sink. The mother turned sharply, her hooves scraping the cracked earth as she rushed to her calf. The little one struggled, its limbs flailing, eyes wide with terror. The more it fought, the deeper it sank. The mother roared urgently, circling the pit, desperate to pull her baby free. But the mud was like quicksand, swallowing the calf inch by inch. The baby let out a faint, pitiful cry before exhaustion took over, its head slowly sinking. Then the night fell. Several miles away, a ranger named Tabo was making his rounds. He knew these lands well, had watched them change with the seasons, had seen them suffer under the cruel grip of drought. But tonight, something felt different. A deep unease settled in his chest. For years, he had monitored the park's rhinos, following their trails, tracking their movements. But this mother and her calf, where were they? They had not been seen in days. Tabo was gut twisted. He reached for his radio. "Base, this is Tabo. I'm heading towards the north waterhole. Something's wrong." With that, he climbed into his jeep and sped into the night. The moment Tabo arrived at the waterhole, he knew. The ground was scarred with deep, frantic hoof prints. And then he saw her. The mother rhino stood at the edge of the mud, unmoving, exhausted, her massive body trembling. And there, just barely visible, was the calf. Tabo's breath caught. It wasn't too late. Moving carefully, he approached. The mother, sensing him, let out a weak but defensive grunt. She had no strength to fight, but her instincts demanded she protect her child. Tabo knelt, his voice gentle. "Easy, mama. I'm here to help." With slow, measured movements, he took out his equipment, a rope, a long branch, and a bottle of water. He reached out, drizzling a few drops onto the mother's snout. She sniffed, hesitant, then licked the water greedily. It was a sign of trust. Tabo turned to the calf. The little rhino had stopped moving, its tiny frame limp. Panic surged in his chest. He had no time. Carefully, he looped the rope around the branch, lowering it into the mud. He needed to work fast, but precisely. One wrong move, and the calf could sink deeper. The night was silent. The only sound was Tabo's breathing and the occasional cry of the desperate mother. With a steady hand, he hooked the rope under the calf's delicate body. Slowly, inch by inch, he began to lift. The mud resisted, thick and unyielding. Tabo's muscles burned as he pulled. The mother rhino stomped anxiously, stepping closer, her eyes locked on her baby. Tabo gritted his teeth and gave one final heave. And then, the calf was free. Tabo wasted no time. He scooped the baby rhino into his hands, his fingers brushing against its mud-caked skin. He could barely feel its heartbeat. Without hesitation, he grabbed his canteen, dripping water onto the calf's snout. Nothing. He tried again. Tabo wasted no time, his heart pounding against his ribs, a mixture of adrenaline and urgency fueling his actions. He scooped the baby rhino into his hands, his fingers brushing against its mud-caked skin, feeling the delicate fragility of its small frame. He could barely feel its heartbeat, a faint tremor against his fingertips, a desperate pulse in the vast silence of the savannah. Without hesitation, he grabbed his canteen, the precious water sloshing against the metal, dripping water onto the calf's snout, hoping to coax a response, a sign of life. Nothing. He tried again, his hand shaking slightly, his focus unwavering. Then a twitch, a tiny gasp, a breath so shallow it was almost imperceptible. The baby rhino blinked, its eyes dull but open, a flicker of awareness in their depths. Tabo let out a shaky breath, a wave of relief washing over him, the tension that had held him captive finally releasing. The mother let out a relieved huff, a low, guttural sound that echoed through the stillness, stepping forward to nuzzle her child, her large body trembling with a mixture of exhaustion and joy. Tabo smiled, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reached his eyes. "You're tougher than you look, little one," he whispered, his voice hoarse with emotion. He set the calf down gently, watching as it weakly tried to stand, its legs wobbling beneath its weight. The mother, despite her exhaustion, her own strength depleted by the drought, nudged her baby, encouraging it to get up, her gentle prodding a silent testament to her unwavering maternal instincts. Slowly, unsteadily, the calf found its footing, its small body swaying but determined. The mother, her instincts still fierce, her protective nature unwavering, shielded her baby with her body, turning to look at Tabo. It was a silent thank you, a bond formed between man and beast in the heart of the wild, a connection forged in the crucible of survival. Tabo stepped back, allowing them space, respecting their need for privacy, for the sacred moment between mother and child. He reached for his radio, his fingers fumbling slightly as he pressed the transmit button. "Base, I found them. They're alive, but they need to be monitored. Severe dehydration, possible weakness. Over." The sky rumbled in the distance, a low, ominous growl that promised change. Dark clouds gathered, swirling and shifting, the scent of rain thick in the air, a welcome aroma after the parched, dusty months. Relief washed over Tabo, a profound sense of hope that spread through his weary body. The drought had held the land hostage for too long, its grip tightening with each passing day. But now, perhaps, the earth would breathe again, the parched ground would drink, and the life that had been clinging to survival would flourish. As the first drops of rain kissed the parched ground, a gentle patter that grew into a steady downpour, Tabo watched the mother rhino and her calf walk away, disappearing into the dense brush, their silhouettes fading into the lush green of the recovering landscape. They would survive, they would live to see another season, to witness the rebirth of the savannah. And so, life continued in Isiclo National Park, a testament to the resilience of nature, to the enduring power of compassion, and to the unwavering spirit of those who dedicated their lives to protecting the wild. In the heart of a dying land, a mother's love and a ranger's determination defied nature's cruelty. Against all odds, a tiny rhino was pulled from the brink of death, a fragile life given a second chance. This story is a powerful reminder of the delicate balance of nature, the unbreakable bond between mother and child, and the humans who dedicate their lives to protecting the wild. If you found this story moving, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every view, every comment, and every share helps spread awareness about the incredible creatures we fight to protect. Until next time, stay inspired, and remember, the wild always find a way.